It's called The View?
It's called The View. It's not called The Facts.
Yeah, but isn't it interesting that it's called, I mean, I don't think they meant this when Barbara Walters invented it a long time ago, but it's The View.
Well,
that's the problem in America. There is one view,
right, and
one
that's clearly
true opinion, and everybody else can go sit in the corner.
That's correct.
Sunny Hostin just got blindsided by a verbal double whammy from Bill Maher and Megyn Kelly that felt like a live TV takedown nobody saw coming. One moment she was perched on The View, tea in hand, exuding confidence like she owned the conversation, and the next, she looked like she'd tripped over her own cue cards, blinking in confusion as if her thoughts had been unplugged mid-sentence. Maher wasted no time. The energy of the clash was chaotic, intense, and unpredictable, like a reality show crafted by exhausted interns fueled only by cold coffee and sheer desperation.
They're disgusting. She's Anna Navarro in your wildest imagination. You could never solo host a show. You will only ever make it as part of an ensemble, and you could never hope to achieve the success that Tucker Carlson has. So you can sit in your little cheap seats all day long and enjoy your little negative henpecking, but your careers are going nowhere, and Tucker is about to dominate.
Bill Maher and Megyn Kelly, both known for their sharp clarity and unwillingness to filter themselves, finally decided they had enough of Sunny's attempts at dominating the conversation. Maher unleashed his dry, scorched earth sarcasm while Megyn brought her calm, surgical precision that cut through Sunny's grandstanding with ease. Together, they turned Sunny's usual podium into a flimsy, wobbling stool. The entire exchange resembled an intellectual demolition derby, with Sunny armed only with a glitter glue stick while Maher and Kelly arrived with metaphorical bulldozers loaded and ready to go.
I want to talk about Whoopi Goldberg because I got so many texts this week because she attacked me the week before. Sure. So she was, everybody was like, oh, Bill, I get you're enjoying the karma. First of all, I'm going to talk about this at the end of my show next week, teaser. But there is no fucking thing as karma, okay? Get over that. Whoopi attacks me on a regular basis. She says stupid shit on a regular basis. They just happen to coincide. But
Sunny's signature move, brandishing her law degree like a glowing lightsaber from the Academy of Absolute Certainty, was on full display. Former federal prosecutor, legal expert, lecturer, and permanent finger-wagger, she carries herself as though her credentials automatically silence any room. But anyone who starts a sentence with, "as a lawyer," knows the next line is likely inaccurate, predictable, or unnecessary, and Sunny delivers all three in a single breath. It's like watching a dramatic legal TED Talk with soaring moral superiority and zero actual facts, all wrapped in the tone of someone convinced they're the smartest person in the room.
That hot mess that they air in the mornings called The View had to issue not one, not two, not three, but 4 corrections, legal corrections, 4 legal notes. Not to mention what they did at that debate, where once again, they tried to fact check only one side, and then when their fact checks got fact checked, they cowered. They cowered in fear. I mean, this is a pattern with
Sunny has an uncanny ability to turn any topic, whether a TikTok trend or the correct temperature for mayonnaise, into a lecture on racial injustice. She could witness a puppy rescue and somehow craft a speech about systemic oppression, completely convinced she's uncovering a hidden conspiracy. Watching her is like scrolling a chaotic Twitter feed in human form, loud, dramatic, and deliberately misunderstanding everything. Even Whoopi Goldberg occasionally looked like she was struggling to survive the unfolding disaster beside her.
Any term you want,
Okay.
because maybe that is a word that's triggering, and so let's not use that word. I don't want to call it the super far left, but don't tell me the left has...
Maybe the super far right. He's talking about the left. Well, then
Okay, but we talked about that. I mean, I think we agree about the danger of the super far right, and I can't say it enough. I think they're the bigger threat. But don't tell me that the left hasn't changed. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when it was the conservatives who hated the Jews.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sunny didn't just get challenged, she got flattened in what felt like a philosophical demolition derby. Her trademark expression of moral disappointment remained intact, but every other part of her argument was obliterated. Strong opinions are one thing, but turning each conversation into a sermon from Mount Condescension has become her defining on-air identity. She doesn't discuss topics, she stays stages courtroom dramas where she's the star, jury, and applause sign all at once. The problem is Maher and Kelly don't play by that script. They bring facts, wit, and logic that instantly reverse the dynamic. When Sunny faces even simple truths, she doesn't pivot. She doubles down, as if volume could transform her points into brilliance.
And finally, new rules. Stop saying that Whoopi Goldberg getting yanked from The View right after she attacked me on The View is karma. There's no such thing as karma. Sorry. Sorry, but life is random. The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious.
Maher, seasoned and unshakable, watched with the calm detachment of a professor grading a freshman essay titled, "Why I'm Always Right." He didn't even need to interrupt. Sunny's monologue unraveled on its own. Each sanctimonious breath dug her deeper into a hole full of dramatic buzzwords, predictable outrage, and self-congratulation thick enough to fog the studio. Megyn Kelly stepped in like a surgeon, calm and precise, dismantling the spectacle layer by layer without raising her voice. By the end, Sunny's polished veneer of forced gravitas had collapsed under its own weight.
They had a discussion on The View about world superpowers from the sound of it. That's how they got into it. And Sunny Hostin made some comments about patriotism and America and Black America. It's all in there, Jason. I mean, it's all in there. I'm going to tee it up. It starts with Alyssa Farah, who's supposed to be the Republican commentator, and then you'll hear Sunny jump in. Listen.
If America is not the #1 global power, it's not going to be Denmark. It's going to be communist China, a country that right now the government is imprisoning Uyghur Muslims in concentration camps. It is a deeply racist government. It's a human rights violating government. It is a government that if they are the leader of the free world, we are not a free world the way that we are right now. So
the notion of patriotism and the notion of America and the American flag has been co-opted by the right as if they are true patriots. But when I listen to Christopher Wray, the head of the FBI, he said white supremacy is the biggest domestic threat to this country.
Sunny thrives only in long monologues, never dialogue. Everything is moralized, dramatized, and personal, and she depends on never being challenged directly. But when someone like Megyn calmly pokes a hole in that inflated balloon of superiority, the collapse is immediate. What happened wasn't a slip. It was a full-scale ideological faceplant. When your persona rests on fragile scaffolding made of moral grandstanding, even small disagreements shake the whole structure. This time, Sunny's house of cards fell spectacularly, creating an awkward, cringe-filled moment that echoed across the studio.
Donald Trump will be sworn in as the 47th president of the United States, yay, on January 20th of this month. Not everyone's happy about it, and many people would like us to be more focused on the insurrection that he personally unleashed. If you ask them, as we discussed earlier, they think it's as bad as like the Holocaust, and you don't have to take my word for it. Here is Sunny Hostin of
January 6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, like World War II, things that happened, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery.
Yeah, the January 6th is right up there next to the Holocaust and slavery.
Megyn Kelly, whose presence alone seems to trigger Sunny like an alarm, doesn't even have to try. Sunny's voice jumps an octave at the mention of her name. Megyn's offense? She relies on facts, coherent reasoning, and sources, skills the panel seems to treat as forbidden magic. She walks through logical timelines and data calmly, without dramatics, while Sunny clutches her pearls, reacting to imaginary crises built from vague TV commentary. Megyn's precision, composure, and literacy create a terrifying display that completely disarms Sunny.
I want you to note the tone they all talk with him. I want you to look at Sunny Hostin's body language and the way they look at him and everything else. Just because he is a lefty who hasn't gone completely bananas, here they are talking about the word woke.
the term woke has been, in my view, co-opted by the right and weaponized and bastardized. And so I was surprised to hear you use the term, because historically, as you know, because I think you're quite brilliant, that woke is a word used by the Black community to note that we must be aware of social injustices.
But words migrate.
Why is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, and originally that was absolutely a great thing. Alert to injustice. Who's not for that? But words do migrate.
Sunny arrives armed with emotional smoke bombs, dramatic outbursts, and hand gestures that look like interpretive dance. Megyn responds with calm logic that slices through the chaos like a guided missile. It's like bringing a coloring book to a chess match and then being shocked when your opponent knows the rules. Sunny's thoughts glitch every time Megyn cites real data or history, forcing her to retreat into a fortress of indignation. She argues as if 2 + 2 equals systemic injustice, only to be corrected by logic and numbers. Sunny also seems to mistake sarcasm for aggression and comedy for personal attack, making her reactions even more baffling.
Whoopi Goldberg was angry when Alyssa pointed out that Trump went to the funeral of Officer Diller on Long Island, and Joe Biden went to a podcast. Look at Whoopi Goldberg's reaction.
Choose what you like there, but for Republicans, it was good imagery.
Really?
One day later, yes.
And I'm asking that because I was so offended, because you know who showed up, and he was, whether he was asked or not. This is a man who didn't care what happened to the officers on January 6th.
She promotes Joe Biden and Kamala Harris every day on that show. Trump wasn't supportive enough of the cops who were, yes, in danger on J 6th. How does that explain their behavior on a daily basis?
It's 2025 and Sunny still hasn't grasped that comedians exist to make fun of everyone. Expecting Maher not to joke about public figures is like walking into a bakery and being shocked they sell bread. Every mild comment from Maher triggers her as if someone read her middle school diary aloud. She clutches her pearls and gasps, "How dare he?" as if personal offense counts as a counter-argument. Her attempt to out-intellectualize Maher and Megyn ends in chaos, tossing historical references and half-formed legal jargon like spaghetti at the wall, hoping something sticks. Most of it lands as confused noise.
Last week you called white Republican women cockroach.
Actually, I didn't. And
you said they're acting like cockroaches.
I used it as let me answer that. Okay. I used it for. Here's what I'm going to ask you all to do. Here's what I'm going to ask you to do.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you to tone it down a bit, because I can't hear anything. No one can hear what's being said.
She just said I called
white women roaches.
All right, we're going to go to break. We're going to break. Can't take it.
Maher, calm and experienced, lets Sunny's theatrics bounce off him like foam darts hitting a brick wall. This isn't his first ideological minefield. Decades in media have trained him to ignore her attempts to craft viral grand finale moments. He looked mentally checked out, already halfway imagining a glass of wine while Sunny powered through her dramatic monologue, oblivious to the audience mentally tuning out.
And by the way, out there, that hat that you keep wearing, that red hat that says "Make America Great Again," that tells people that you go along with this. So you might as well just put a swastika on the hat.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Because we see it anyway.
I'm not going to defend Donald Trump ever, but I would never say that we should put the swastika on the cap, because I think you can hate Donald Trump. You can't hate everybody who likes him. It's half the country. I don't want to live in that country. I don't want to live in the country where I hate half the country, and I don't hate half the country.
How dare you disagree with me?
Megyn Kelly never raised her voice. Her calm, razor-sharp responses dismantled Sunny piece by piece, turning the debate into something resembling an exorcism with Kelly as the steady hand. Sunny acted as if reality were a negotiable opinion, convinced that her outrage was always justified and anyone who disagreed was automatically wrong. She doesn't debate. She performs judgment ceremonies where she's judge, jury, and prosecutor, expecting applause between commercial breaks. When Megyn pushed back, Sunny abandoned any notion of sisterhood and went full combat mode, ultimately resorting to playing the moral victim, a fallback when logic and feelings run out. Maher didn't fall for it. He pointed out the absurdity, leaving Sunny scrambling while viewers sought clarity. By the end, her collapse wasn't physical, but ideological. Sunny Hostin got absolutely torched on live television. If you liked this breakdown, hit like and subscribe for more straight-to-the-point commentary. Turn on notifications so you never miss the next video. Thanks for watching 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐿 Reports. See you in the next one.